Welcome back to House of 1000 Haunts. I am Stevie.
And I'm Dwayne.
And today we're talking about a haunt that's actually very close to where we reside, our bodies and sleep and stuff. The one and only
Haunted Farm.
If you're watching this on the video version, you will see Dwayne was pointing at his body because he has a Haunted Farm t-shirt on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Haunted Farm was not open in 2024, but they were in 2023. We do hope to see them in 2025, though. After all the hurricane and everything, he had some repairs.
Actually, turns out we will, because I did look it up, and they will be reopening for the 2025 season, September 27th.
Very excited to go back to the Haunted Farm.
Yeah. But guys, before we get deeper into this haunt and put it into the house, let's talk about what we're drinking this evening as we do per usual. I've got my spooky ghost mug.
Frankenstein, monster mug, creature, whatever, figure obscura.
We're just drinking some coffee because we are here in the studio. But if you're watching this on the YouTube video, you'll see our sweet mugs.
Yeah.
And you will see also that we are watching the walkthrough we did of this haunt in 2023. We're watching it right behind us on the screen. We will have that linked in the show notes below, along with the video version of this, so you can watch it if you'd like. It's in the show notes. But yeah, like Dwayne said, they were not open for 2024 because of Hurricane Helene. Damn you, woman! But I'm really excited because I did check the website before we did the recording of this podcast. Guys, it is going to be their 15th year open. 15th season.
Very excited.
And they will be reopening September 27th. So I'm really stoked to check it out, because when we did go to it last, they had changed it from the time before that. We actually have two different videos of the Haunted Farm on our YouTube channel. The first one, we didn't get permission to actually physically walk through and film. But the second time we did in 2023, and it was so different, and it was so much fun, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
The Haunted Farm is located in Hendersonville, North Carolina, which is not too far from our home base.
Just a stone's throw away. But like most of the haunts we check out in the North Carolina area, it is a farm, and it definitely feels like it when you pull up. And it has a really large parking area. They do charge for parking. I think it is cash only, so be sure to bring a few extra bucks for cash. It's between like $5 to $10.
$5.
Not too much. I don't know what it's going to be this year in 2025, but this last time they had revised it. They had a really large midway, not just including their huge parking area, which is just outside, kind of open field. Like, their midway was massive. They had built this huge, like, facade house. It was like a whole house.
And like a barn connected to it. It was really cool. They had some photo ops sections set up. Mm-hmm. They had this big guy floating around and singing and stuff like that. It was very cool.
He was like the Pumpkin King. He started singing Jack the Pumpkin King from Nightmare Before Christmas.
It was really neat.
Yeah, I loved it. It was a very, some midways, once you go into the haunt, you can't go back into the midway. This one is not like that. Once you go into the haunt, you exit the haunt right back into the midway on the other side of their big facade house. So it's really rad. It is like you're just going into their massive farmhouse.
Right.
Like overall, right?
Yes.
That's what the big like farm house facade is supposed to simulate. And before we went in, I'm wearing my super sweet makeshift jacket for a reason, because we encountered one of the actors named Sprinkles. He is a clown and he's insane.
Kind of one of their main actors.
He signed my jacket. Sprinkles says die.
Yeah, very cool.
So I love that. I need to get some more autographs from some haunt actors. That'd be really cool. What do you say we walk up the hill and head inside the haunt, shall we?
Because that is exactly what you do, is you walk up the hill to go stand in line to go into the house. We had VIP tickets, so we did go through the VIP line, and the VIP line, it was separate from the regular line.
Yeah.
It had these big wooden like boards that were like a big fence, like gate. Like you just walked through this big like tunnel.
Yeah, it created like this big wooden tunnel.
And then you kind of walk up to like this, like the big like
this facade. Yeah, if you're looking at the video, Dwayne's shirt shows
like a big face and like a tree.
The face, and you walk into his mouth.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, so it is this big like wooden tree facade. So I guess it is like you're walking into the farm, into the woods.
Right.
And it's eating you. I don't know. It is like kind of crazy.
Because originally you would walk through the woods and there wasn't really much, and then you would come up to the farmhouse.
Yeah, they just had like this little. Their midway was still cool.
Yes.
It had some booths with merch and concessions, and then you just got in the zigzag line, and they had a big screen where a movie would be playing.
That's right. When you're waiting in line, there is a movie playing, and that is very reminiscent of House of Shock, which I really dig. And it's not just a movie; it's clips from movies playing.
Yes,
the movies aren't as violent and gruesome as House of Shock.
House of Shock was,
but you still get to sit there and see clips from horror movies, and that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You're not just standing there in line, kind of staring at nothing.
Yeah.
I really dig that.
Yeah, it was very cool. So once you get in through the wooded area, you zigzag through the woods. It is very dark. You kind of, yeah, and you stumble upon a voodoo house and a voodoo king.
That was pretty cool.
That was interesting.
That was new to that year, I do believe. Well, we didn't go the year before either, so it's kind of like,
yeah, we did miss it in 2024.
New to us that year.
I'm excited to go again because there has been circumstances that have made them change things, but it's been cool that they've changed things. So it sucks they weren't open last year, but again, really excited for 2025. Yes. So you kind of zigzag through the woods and back and forth between the woods and into buildings. And as we were walking through the woods, there was this part I got surrounded by these random characters. I couldn't even see them, but they were whispering. Let's see if I can put it in the... They were doing that with their teeth, and they kept whispering, "Look at the stars, look into the stars, the stars." Yeah. Okay, listen. A lot of haunt actors, when they're not sure what to do, they do like the classic, just scream at your face, or the or things like that. Yeah.
A lot of people like snarl.
Yeah, and for people who go to haunts a lot, like us, that you kind of become numb to it a little bit. But things like this, the whispering.
Very cool. Very cool.
My butthole tight.
It was cool. It was really neat. They did a good job. Again, one of those things where the haunt actors make the haunt, because sometimes it's not always like that. Sometimes it's like, oh man, it was the animatronics or something.
Right, because that part, we were just, walking through the woods. Yeah. You were kind of just like, I almost said conga line, that's not right. But you're kind of just walking through a roped path. There we go, a roped path. You're just following the rope into the next building, and there were just people there, and that was one of the most memorable moments for me, and there was nothing but them and the noises they were making.
It was cool.
So that was amazing. I loved that. We stumbled onto a big church at one point, and again, they had redone a lot of stuff, and just the detail of everything was really nice.
Like she said, it was kind of like you could tell that they were working on new buildings, and they had smaller sets they were working on. Yeah. You would just go into a smaller set with a smaller scene, and then you'd go right back out into the woods. And I really enjoyed it, though, because it is, like I said, it used to just be like you're walking through the woods. And
it was a lot of, wooded
people
trails.
Out there and animatronics and stuff. They added a little bit more stuff there.
A little more detail.
I dig that.
Yeah. And then you come up to this building where you see a girl swinging on a swing set, and then it kind of breaks for a line. So you're kind of waiting in line again to go into a larger part of the house.
I like haunts like this that have breaking points like this, because it gives you a chance for everyone to just kind of go through and
for haunts that are larger size.
So conga line. Yeah, because I don't know if you've ever been to Universal Studios or any big haunts like that, but they conga line you through, and you kind of miss some scares sometimes, and it's not as scary or intense.
It's not.
So I do like the fact that some haunts have the breaking point where you just stop and kind of banter with somebody.
Yeah, they don't do it intentionally. They're just busy.
Yep.
It's not. That's why it's nice to have the fast pass. Honestly, I try to figure out like when would be the best time to go to a place like Universal Studios. Honestly, Halloween night sometimes is the best time to go to like Universal Studios.
Yeah.
At least it hasn't been in the past, because a lot of people will go to more local things on Halloween night.
Right.
I would hope so. Honestly, you know what we do on Halloween night? We're usually in the house.
Yeah. It's usually on a weekday.
That's the best day to stay home and watch scary movies or watch our walkthroughs of haunted houses.
Yeah. So, in the house, you walk through a basic farmhouse scene with the cannibalistic hillbillies. You walk into the walls, like a lot of these haunts do, and you see a bunch of missing person posters on the wall and stuff. And you cut around a couple corners, and then you see a guy with in front of an elevator, and it goes down into a mine shaft. So you go into the elevator, and it's the classic elevator that's, you know, shaking you all around and everything. It's a lot of fun. And I
wonder how theirs is. I can't remember if it, like, we went in and the door opened from behind us.
Yeah, I don't remember, right? Yeah, because
some haunts, like, the elevator doesn't move.
Yep.
Or it may just like turn around, and then the door just opens and lets you out from the other side.
Yeah.
If it doesn't move, you may walk in one way, and then the very back wall opens up.
That's usually how it is. It's like you keep going.
Some we know of, like Frightworks, specifically, theirs like literally moves on a track.
I love Frightworks. They have a great.
So everybody does it different. But yeah, that would be interesting to know.
Yeah.
But it's still a lot of fun.
Right.
I enjoyed that. Once you get out of the elevator, you end up in like this control room, and you see like you're in the mines. It was kind of wicked. Mm-hmm. Again, just how they built it up. It just, we had skipped a year. Man, it's kind of interesting. We've been going like every other year to Haunted Farm.
Right, yeah.
It's just kind of landed that way.
Right.
Just so much was different, and they just built up even this space so much.
It's great.
Yeah, and this led into an asylum, which they had before. They had the insane asylum before, because I specifically remember that this hallway that reminded me of Resident Evil. And it's funny because Dwayne said that this walkthrough,
it's like you're in an old house like Resident Evil, and then you go into an elevator, go down, and there's a laboratory underneath.
Right.
An asylum.
Like a whole hive of
it's
something.
Totally, you know, like a whole different thing. And I think that's really neat if you look at it in that perspective.
We are
Just,
like,
you know,
creating our own
map out the whole thing.
Yeah, we're creating our own perspectives of what these haunts could be. Sometimes we get, the owners will tell us in detail what they're about, a boot
Story.
But sometimes we just like create the story ourselves. So with this, that was the feel it gave us, was original like Resident Evil kind of story.
Yeah. I dig it.
But it did. We walked into this asylum, and it said the Lunatic Asylum. And this one hallway, I just ate it up. I actually made it the thumbnail for the video of this walkthrough. It was just such a detailed, really cool area. I even made a note that said the awesome fucking asylum hallway.
Yeah.
Because it was.
You go through the asylum, and you end up in a operating room. And then you go straight into the sewers, which is very unsanitary that the operating room is right next to the sewer.
Yeah.
But yeah, you go straight into the sewers, which there's water on the on the ground.
Yeah, so it's,
you're on grates.
You're walking on the grates, yeah, and it's
water pouring down around
pouring
you.
from above you.
It's so good. The ambience in those sewers.
I thought we were gonna get soaked. We didn't,
awesome.
but it was there was just water everywhere.
Love the sewers at the Haunted Farm.
And you start to, you're kind of like at the bottom at this point, and there's these gnarly monsters that are so tall. They had these like red eyes. They were like hovering over me.
Crazy.
Like, I'm only 5'3". My ID says 5'4", but
crazy.
But then you begin to go up.
And up.
And up.
And up.
But okay, so the little stairways start to, like, the floor starts to slant, and you have to crouch down, and we're kind of starting to spiral upwards. And now, again, we like to let people know if places are, like, handicap accessible. This one's not. I did not see, that I'm aware of, any areas where you could skip these crouching places with slanted floors. So you would have to go through these areas.
Yeah.
But it was wicked because it just started to get tinier and tinier and led up, 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 up. And you could see the entire farm.
It was really cool. It was kind of like a livestock shoot, I think it's what it was.
Yeah.
For smaller stuff like goats and stuff to walk through. But yeah, it was pretty gnarly because you were all above the farm and everything. Mm-hmm. We even went above a line that we were to be in later. It was pretty crazy.
And you could see everybody. Yeah. We waved at them. You could see in the video. There was a dude up there also serving barbecue, so that was nice. Yeah. It wasn't barbecue you would want unless you want to be a cannibal. Yeah. But from there, once you saw the barbecue man, you start to head back down.
Yep. And you kind of go through like a flooded area that was kind of swampy, because
the classic green light
with the fog. I love that effect. I don't know why. I love that effect. It's done very well. Simple. And so good.
I don't know if you've noticed, Dwayne, like paying attention to us talking about all of this. We love simple, practical effects. And when you can do it and be a badass and hardcore at it, because it does exist, House of Shock.
Yeah.
It's our favorite. Listen, one day, maybe house number 1000 will be House of Shock. Right? What number is this? 18?
Yeah, I think so.
House number 18. Yeah.
So after the flooded, swampy area, you're supposed to go through a zombie hall, like with the arms reaching out and
there was all the strobe lighting,
strobe lights and stuff. But there was a line in there because it got blocked up for the next area,
right?
And we just kind of got stuck in there. So it was just like
it was kind of funny.
Out, and it would stop.
We were everybody was waiting in line,
and it was like.
You weren't supposed to sit in that hallway that long.
It was pretty funny. Yeah, we sat there for a good 10 minutes at least.
I enjoyed it.
It was fun, yeah.
Once we did make our way through that zombie hallway, we encountered a small cemetery and the line that we noticed from up high earlier. So that was kind of cool. Then we could see everybody from up high.
Right.
That was neat.
And the line was to get into a dentist office.
An evil dentist.
Yeah, evil dentist. I mean, all dentists kind of evil. I mean,
it was funny because I had mentioned, I was like, "Are you Danhausen?" to one of the dudes that were in there. So that was interesting.
Yeah, because he was trying.
So he was very nice, but very evil.
Yeah.
From the dentist's office, I think after that, I remember saying something about it being Narnia. So there was like this closet, like walkway. I enjoy that too. That's really simple when you have like clothing hanging, and it's like you're walking into a closet.
Oh, I dig that too.
And then things just started warping from there, just different spaces. It was just like a mind fuck basically, but it was really cool, very detailed. Whoever does the set design is awesome, and I just loved it. The sounds were good, the ambience was good.
It was very cool. It is very cool. It seems like that might have been one of the original parts of the haunt. And that's just why it's all the
main house.
Bunch of different broke up little haunts.
That makes sense.
Different rooms that aren't necessarily all themed, but they do kind of tie together.
Yeah, it's a haunted house. Yeah, exactly. Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to have a theme or a story, but it's interesting what it does.
Then you go through one of the big cushy like squishy things, almost like you're going through a portal. Anytime I go through one of those, that's what I kind of think.
Simulates
like
a portal.
Going like through a portal or something, or go through water or something, and you come out and you notice some paintings on the wall that are glowing, and it's time to put on your 3D glasses because it is clown time.
Yep, we were given some 3D glasses and encountered some clowns, and I was told that what was I doing down there? Because I was supposed to be clocked in because I was another clown, I guess, because of my orange hair.
Orange hair, yeah.
That's nice and fun.
Again, the glowing walls, the fluorescent walls and everything, black
drawings.
Light, all drawings all over the walls. There was some references to ICP on the wall. There was a hand for the Wraith on the wall. That was really cool.
It's always funny to see haunts that... Because clowns are a big staple in the haunt world, and there's a lot of haunters that are juggalos.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Whoop whoop.
Yeah. They had a good spiral tunnel in there as well. I really enjoyed their spiral tunnel.
Yeah, that was fun. They had some good actors in there too.
Most of the ones that are in black light like that and you have glasses on are usually pretty good. Like they'll get you pretty good. Also, while we were in that area, the lady that was at the entrance to it said, "Would you like some glasses for your camera?" And she put them on the camera. The walkthrough.
Yes, so
it didn't do much, but it was so cool.
It kind of did.
Yeah,
So if you
cool.
want to watch that walkthrough, like I said, I'll have it linked in the show notes below. So it kind of gave it a 3D effect.
Yeah.
So you were able through the camera to see the 3D effect.
Yeah.
That's always fun. So even though that is a classic staple in most haunts, the Haunted Farm did it really well in their own way.
Yeah.
And as always, you exit out and someone was standing there with a chainsaw, chopped your glasses off with a chainsaw, and chased you out back into the Midway to purchase merch.
Or food and drink if you would like.
Yeah. And that was the Haunted Farm in Hendersonville, North Carolina.
Yep, one of our favorite haunts. Definitely our local haunt, I suppose you would say.
Yeah, that's our main local haunt.
Yeah.
The closest to us.
Yeah, big shout out to Haunted Farm for having us out. Really cannot wait to go back this year and see all of the awesome actors and just everybody that's involved because Haunted Farm is great.
Yeah. If you are interested in seeing more about the Haunted Farm, we will have their information linked in the show notes below. Because again, we're all about traveling, looking for other haunted houses. And if you are down to do the same, we want to help you out. Maybe we'll bump into you. That'll be fun.
Yeah, don't be afraid to say something. Say hello.
Don't pinch my butt. Don't pinch my butt. We have an intruder. It's the kitty cats. We have black cats. What can we say?
Yeah.
Kitty cat!
Oh no.
You gonna hurt yourself, chica?
She's trying so hard to get in here.
All right. Well, as our cat's trying to shut down production, again, we want to say a big thank you to the Haunted Farm for always being super cool and letting us film.
That's right.
We'll see you guys again for the 2025 season. They will be opening September 27th of 2025. Be sure to check them out.
Hope to see you all there.
Yeah. If you want to see our walkthroughs, we'll have that linked in the show notes below. Check us out on YouTube, Destination Stone Presents. And if you are having fun with us, be sure to give us a 5-star rate and review wherever you listen to your podcasts. Be sure to follow us. We are having so much fun with you guys, and we hope you are too. I am Stevie.
Yeah, I'm Dwayne.
And this is House of 1000 Haunts. Bye-bye.
Bye.